The Xbox LIX is probably the best handheld device on the market, but unfortunately, it comes without any accessories and a lot of software issues. So today I'm going to show you 3 must-have accessories that are cheap but extremely valuable. Then I'll explain how to fix catastrophic Windows mistakes that can crash your device. And last but not least, I'll teach you shortcuts and button combinations to access hidden features. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Since this video is kind of a holiday special, let's say you found an LIX under the Christmas tree. Which is great news, since right now this is the best handheld PC you could wish for. So you get excited, you lift up the cover, and then you realize
it's a nice
this
crib.
comes without a carry case, which is a big bummer, because the point of
That's actually pretty shit because the Steam Deck comes with one. That's
having a portable
horrendous.
gaming device is to have it on the go with you.
Granted, I don't think my Steam Deck can fit in the carrying case with the case on, with my JSOX case and cover on, which the cover is part of the case. Hold on, I'm gonna check. I don't think it will, but I'll try. Alright, so this is my Steam Deck. I've shown many times. Front cover. This is my Steam Deck carrying case that it comes with when you buy it, obviously. Still in really good condition. Let me see if it fits with the case on. Okay, it does, but it's a really tight fit to the point where it would click on the, I'm sure it's clicking on the joysticks, but if I squeeze a little, yeah, I can get it to fit. But I don't really need it because I have the tough shell, but yeah, it could fit. And then, you know, you have the space for the charger here, so I could fit the charger in here. So yeah, it can fit, yeah. It can.
Therefore, selling
Alright, back to
LIX
this.
without the most important accessory that would allow this makes no sense. So in your disappointment, you
And it costs $1,000 too. That's the worst part. Yes, I know OLED screen. No, it's LCD. I can't even say that. Yes, I know Z2 Extreme. Yes, I know 80 watt-hour battery. But come on, 1,000. And then there's the issue of the plastic creaking. So the build quality isn't even that great. It's not horrible, but it's not that great either. They should have thrown a case in.
store just to realize that the official carry case for the LIX costs $70, which is extremely overpriced, and on top of that, it is either out of stock or straight up unavailable.
That's just as expensive as the JSOX, not the JSOX, the Kill Switch case for all of them, really. The Switch, for the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, Legion Go, Legion Go S, all the other handhelds, the popular ones at least, that got cases from Dbrand.
In this case, pun intended, the best thing you can do is to find an alternative, which is exactly
in most cases, pun intended.
So I got my case for exactly $8 from China.
China?
And to be honest with you, I really love it.
China. I love them. China.
This is a sleek and low-profile hardshell case, so it's easy to carry, but still, it provides protection from impacts. If you'd like to Google it, here's a screenshot, but you won't find any links in the description because I'm not.
I can't do the conversion on that currency.
I'm just simply giving you.
I don't like using
so
those obscure online
LIX
sites.
Experience. And as an exchange, I only ask you to like this video. So when you're looking for a case, my biggest recommendation is to pick one that can also.
That's a nice
hold
compromise for a
another
kickstand.
So it can hold the device at an angle.
I would never block the
like
vents with
watch a movie,
that though.
Or use it as a secondary screen besides your laptop. This way you don't have to carry an extra dedicated desk stand or install these weird looking legs on the back of your device. And just because my carry case is so fantastic, I very often bring my LIX on trips instead of bringing my full-size laptop, because in tight spaces like an airplane,
What show is
this
that?
is much more convenient to use. Another must-have accessory on
Bro getting footage on the plane. I don't think I've seen that in a while. Also, those trees look 3D printed. They probably are.
Handheld device, but especially on the LIX, is a screen protector
Oops.
because the external layer of the 7-inch touchscreen is actually not glass, but a much softer plastic material that scratches.
Even if it were glass or plastic, I'm putting a screen protector on it. That's just how I am. And I'm likely gonna buy it as soon as I buy the hardware itself. So they both reach in time, and as soon as I unbox it, I'm wiping that screen down, even though the screen has little to no dust because it's brand new. But of course, you know, dust is inevitable. I'm wiping it down with the microfiber cloth, and I'm putting that shit on immediately. I still have some spare screen protectors for my Steam Deck. I think I bought a 2 or 3 pack Steam Deck screen protectors, the ones that come with the plastic mount, so you can line it up perfectly. Not the ones with just the glass alone, and then you mess up because you don't align it right because you're human and you literally don't have that level of precision to do it on your own. So yeah,
The
that.
second big downside of this screen out of the box is that it collects fingerprints
I like the
crazy,
coconut, the
which
jelly.
kind of amplifies the scratch gate issue, because the more a screen collects fingerprints, the more you have to wipe it. But if you wipe your screen all the time, you also increase the chance of scratching it. My recommendation
Exactly. Screen protectors are non-negotiable. It
is to
just
find a
is.
screen protector that is non-reflective, especially if you'd like to use your LIX on the go, because most glass screen
Just like
protectors
me.
can literally turn this into a mirror. So I got one that is made of hydrogel.
Yeah, I could have gotten one of the privacy ones, but I'm good with my glossy. Like, I think it was already a mirror even without it. So we just care about the protection of our device. Once that's achieved, I'm good. We can't really do much about dust, at least in the crevices. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, very pleased. Very, very pleased. Why is the top of this wet? What is this? Oh, never mind. I don't know what this
And
is.
fun fact, I
Anywho.
got mine installed by an official ASUS employee who did such a precise job that you can't even
Oh, this
tell
is just
that
a plastic
this screen has a
seam.
protector on it. The other big advantage of hydrogel, besides being non-reflective, is that it doesn't collect fingerprints, so I truly hit 2 flies with one swing, and if you take a close look, you can see that it already blocked some damage. The third and final accessory that you do not actually need but should consider is an upgraded charger. And the reason why I'm saying this because the original charger from ASUS is just a cheap generic
Is it
laptop
slow?
charger. This means that you cannot detach
Wow.
the USB cable from the power brick, and if you'd like to take the LIX on a trip, you
I mean, it's the same with the Steam Deck, but it actually has, like, you know, its own charger. 45 watts is good enough. It would be cool if you got a 100-watt charger. I'm guessing maybe they'll do that for the next Steam Deck. They don't need to, but I mean, it would be cool. I mean, you want your thing to charge as fast as possible. So yeah, if they could get 100-watt charging, or even 90 would be double the rate. I think the Steam Deck. How long does the Steam Deck OLED take to charge? I own one, but I don't be watching the times. I don't be monitoring the times. Steam Deck OLED, I have to specify that. 45 minutes to an hour. Alright, so yeah, roughly 2 hours. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, it definitely takes longer to charge once it passes 80.
are
I've
better
noticed
off
that.
with an adapter
That's how it's
that can
designed.
actually charge multiple devices, and the USB cable that detaches from the adapter, so you can store it easily and also use it as a data cable. And now that we are done with the accessories, it's time to talk about critical issues with Windows 11 and how to fix or avoid them, because just like always, Microsoft didn't fail to disappoint. Maybe if they spent less time on Epstein Island and more time on development, the situation would be better. But all jokes aside, I genuinely
You know, this looks like the UI errors that you see on Steam Deck when you have a Decky loader plugin and then SteamOS updates. So now your plugin is out of date, and now the developer of the plugin has to update it to get it to work. with the new SteamOS version. Yeah, that's what this looks like. I wasn't even aware this was a
Microsoft
thing.
has a policy to make the user experience as toxic as humanly possible because it's
Well, yeah,
hard to
that's
believe that
nightmarish.
the unending crap they do is not intentional. For example, there's a bug within the Microsoft login server that can shut down your entire account for 2 days when you try to log in from the LIX. This issue has been present since the day of release, and as far as I know, it is still not fixed. So, how to avoid it? The first time you power on your Xbox LIX, it will start setting up Windows and it will ask you to log into your Microsoft account, which is necessary to access the Xbox Game Launcher. And when you get to this point, it is very important to have a passkey activated on another non-Microsoft device, like an iPhone for example, because the passkey is the only way you can log into the Xbox LIX. If you try to log in with your Microsoft username and password, the login server will automatically label it as a security breach and shut down your entire account for 2 days every time
For 2
you
days?
try it.
Crazy.
Of course, because I'm a dummy.
So if you keep trying, the days stack. So it goes from 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. That's crazy.
And I could not use my Microsoft account
So that's
for
6
6
days?
which sounds dumb as hell, but I guess in 2025 this is how we do it. So now that you're logged in, you would
Instantly
assume
thought of the song
everything is
too.
cool and now you can go ahead and play some video games. Well, unfortunately, you are far from the truth, because the real Microsoft
Oh
breach
boy.
is just about to begin. Because the second critical Microsoft mistake specific to the LIX is that one of the very first motherboard firmware updates will make you lose access to the USB ports, so you won't be able to charge the device until you install the fix. For this reason, you should have your battery fully charged before you start.
I was about to say, because they always say, please don't plug out your computer when doing this update. I mean, it's a handheld, so the battery's gonna last way longer than a gaming laptop. Or any laptop for that matter. Well, yeah, almost any laptop pretty much. But still. I'm wondering if there's a good reason to turn the USB off. I don't think there is. They're probably working on fixing it.
Because
I
you
hope.
need to have enough juice to download the next patch that fixes the issue. And despite its name, the ROG Xbox LIX is actually not a true collaboration between Asus and Microsoft, because you actually need to download these updates from 2 separate locations. The first one is Microsoft's update menu.
I'm pretty
which
sure there's
we
more
all know
places
and
you have to
love,
update from.
And the second one is called Armory Crate. And the reason why I said that this is not a true collaboration between Microsoft and Asus is that we have clear signs that Microsoft is trying to sink the ship, meanwhile Asus is trying to keep it afloat. So in the future, if an update from Microsoft crashes your LIX, you should head over to the Armory Crate, because chances are that they already have something that fixes the problem. In my opinion, it is very disappointing that the Windows experience is such garbage, because without these painful mistakes, the LIX would be a fantastic piece of hardware. It is powerful enough to function not only as a handheld PC, but also as a traditional gaming console when you plug it into a television, or as a full-size desktop computer when you connect it to a monitor. However, the first time you plug the LIX into an external screen, you're in for a big surprise, because as soon as you make the connection, the built-in screen goes completely dark, so you won't be able to use the touchscreen unless you duplicate your screen. But ever since the touchscreen gets blacked out when you make the connection,
You know, I low-key kind of like that. I wish there was an option to toggle it, which I think he said, yeah, the duplicate screen thing in Windows should be, you know, I'll facilitate that. But on Steam Deck, when you plug it into the TV, it still registers your touch if you move your finger across the screen, which I don't really like, because what if I wanted to like lift it up and I'm holding it like this? I don't want my finger to register on the touch screen, so I kind of like that it does that. I'm not gonna lie. But giving people the option to go either way, I believe, is
you won't be
always
able to
best.
use it to dupe your screen, and your only option is to use a specific button combination, which is modifier plus X. If you press these two buttons together, it will open up your COS settings when you can duplicate your screen and regain access to the touch features, to browse the web, type on your keyboard, and so on. And no, unfortunately we don't have a setting that would allow us to dupe our screen by default, which means that you need to use the modifier plus X combination every time you connect your LIX to an external screen. And if you're already on a large display, you probably need to use your pointer, and for a long time I believe that this was not possible without connecting an actual mouse, but later I realized that if I press the dedicated button for the Armoury Crate menu, there is a shortcut called Control Mode, and if I change it to desktop, that would allow me to use the right joystick as a built-in mouse without connecting an actual physical mouse. And if you take a close look, this same menu also has a shortcut that opens the keyboard in case you wanted to type anything. However, you can also open the keyboard with another button combination, which goes modifier plus D-pad up. But of course, to take advantage of the keyboard, you first need to dupe your screen so you can actually touch it and type. And when it comes to this keyboard, I must say that Microsoft managed to screw up the typing experience on this device completely, because whenever you try to copy-paste something into an input field, it is not possible by touching the field like it would be possible on a smartphone, for example. The only way to paste something into a field is to open the large version of the digital keyboard and then press down the Ctrl plus V keyboard combination, which on the touchscreen makes zero sense. And on top of this weird quirk...
Yeah, that's very strange. Because with the touchscreen, you should be able to hold down on it and then the paste dialog would come up at the top and then you click paste.
It is not even available on the keyboard that Microsoft gives us.
And then it seemed to be right there. Hold on, let me go back. Right here, whatever you copy to the clipboard seems to be this right here.
Not even available on the keyboard that Microsoft gives us by default. And to access it, we need to tweak some settings. Alright, so here's another big issue with the LIX. I just put it to sleep like 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Oh yes, sleep mode is my biggest issue with these Windows handhelds. Let's listen to this
and now
keenly.
Trying to wake it up, I'm pressing the power button and nothing happens. Obviously the device is fully charged and I also plugged it into the outlet and nothing happens. And the weirdest thing is that the device is on because I can feel the fans going, like there is an airflow. I feel it with my palm. And yeah, it's just dead, man. And the thing I have to do now is to press this button for like 10 seconds. And
to shut it off.
Okay,
Force shut it down.
That I just did.
Yeah.
Alright, so you saw the LED.
I've done it on Steam Deck before.
It started blinking. Let's try to turn it. And now it switches on. Bro, Windows
LCD, yuck.
is just a piece of crap, man. And I genuinely think that Microsoft should come and fix Windows.
It's a nice ass keyboard.
On this device, because many things on the UI doesn't make any sense. For example, the engineers at Microsoft, managed to add 5 separate volume rockers to the interface. There is one on the Armoury Crate tab, then there's another one on the Settings tab, a third one on the Audio tab, a fourth one in the bottom right corner, and then there's the fifth one in the form of 2 physical buttons.
The actual physical buttons, yeah.
And ever since the interface is extremely over-engineered, the different layers can overlap with one another and cause weird glitches. For example, here is the one
double inputs
collapses, so I cannot type anything. And the only way I could fix this issue was to reboot my device. I'm pointing out these mistakes because in my opinion they can genuinely confuse the hell out of new users. And since
that really makes the experience suck.
Weeks ago, pretty much everyone counts as a new user. With all that said, I hope my video gave you useful information, and if it did, please hit like and also subscribe if you wanna see more videos coming with the LIX. Also, if you have an interesting cool gadgets that can travel with you, I invite you to check out my foldable drone or my unbreakable action camera. I reviewed the DJI.
I wonder what country this guy's from.
Poland, which is one
Probably
of the
somewhere in
most
Europe.
beautiful European cities I've ever been to. And I unboxed
There it
the
is, he said it
Osmo Pro
immediately.
camera in Lima, Peru, where I climbed up to the tippy top of a huge cliff. to
And I could
look
tell
at
from
this
the accent,
gorgeous
so.
sunset. Thank you for sticking around all the way. And
Well,
I'll
that's
see
Peru.
you in the next one.
So the UI is still going crazy, huh? Yeah, see, he says it too. Be careful not to block the events while the device is on. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, the sleep is a big issue for me, and Microsoft said they're working on it, so let's hope they're actually doing that, because we need Steam OS type sleep. And even that isn't perfect, but it's pretty good 98% of the time. Alright, so that was my reaction to the ROG Xbox Ally X's problems. A lot of these I didn't know about, and I plan to get one at some point in the future. I need a PC first though. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye, because my gaming laptop is not cutting it anymore.